Hello, welcome to the March 2022 Drop In with Debbie blog. Today's story is Bobbi Nesheim, a lifelong student and teacher. Dear reader, like many small towns throughout Pennsylvania, Millville's chief byproduct was coal. You could hop on a streetcar, and for 10 cents, you could reach Pittsburgh in 30 minutes. Today I'm going to tell you about a woman who remembers those days. It was common for her at a very young age to jump on the streetcar and go to Pittsburgh's Carnegie Library. I would bring home a bushel of books to read, she said. Are you a lover of books, reader? Who introduced you to reading? This woman's name is Bobbi Nesheim, now 88, and she has always been someone who loves to learn. Bobbi also has the unique skill of using her knowledge to educate others. From a young age, she has been in teaching roles. This talent allowed her to explore different avenues of giving students dance, music, physical education, counseling, and many more topics. Always, her curated programs allowed her to help others gain insight into themselves and their choices. I hope you enjoy her story. When Bobbi was a child, her father was a steam fitter. Her mother worked the switchboard for a telephone answering service and did secretarial work. Bobbi was the oldest of three children. It became clear to me as I heard Bobbi's story that she had a natural talent in teaching and music. In fact, even in her junior high years, Bobbi was teaching square dance lessons to students. Reader, what is one of your natural talents? Bobbi attended Millville High School. She played in the band, sang in the choruses, and acted on stage for the school plays. During the summers, she attended camp and eventually became a camp counselor for a number of years. I knew every camp song ever sung, she said. Out of her graduating class, she was one of only 12 students who was going to attend college. Bobbi stayed focused on her goal. I knew I wanted to be a teacher since I was a kid, she said. She attended Mansfield State College to study music. Although she played many instruments, Bobbi knew she wasn't a performer. I was a teacher, she said. She graduated in 1956 with her teaching degree. Reader, are you good at evaluating yourself? Then Bobbi told her parents she wanted to move to California. In Pennsylvania, the starting salary for a new teacher was in the 2000 range. In California, her starting income would start at 3000. Bobbi's parents responded, "We just sold our house. We're going with you." So the family moved and settled in San Diego suburb called Lemon Grove. Reader, did you ever make a huge move in your career choice? Bobbi started her master's degree at San Diego's University of California. To help cover costs, Bobbi taught dance lessons: mambo, tango, rumba, waltz, jitterbug, many different dance styles. This was in the 50s. They lived close to North Island, the site of a naval base, so there were a lot of sailors who loved to dance. Bobbi enjoyed her master's academic year. The director of the school told her that there wasn't a class she hadn't taken in previous studies, so he asked her to be his assistant. The position allowed her to put on plays, shows, and opened wonderful doors for her to experience. She also worked with Roger Wagner and Robert Shaw, two very prominent choral conductors with whom I was privileged to sing, she said. Reader, what is a wonderful door that opened to you? After graduating with her master's in music in 1957, for many years Bobbi taught at various age levels: junior high, senior high, junior colleges, and universities. She started with music and girls' physical education. However, a conversation changed Bobbi's path. One of her supervisors asked her, "Did you ever think about being a school counselor?" Reader, what is a question presented to you that took you in a new direction? During her research, combined with the undergraduate work she had already accomplished, adding counseling to her career goals seemed like a wise next step. Bobbi completed all the classes required. She started her school counseling career with senior high students. So at that point, now Bobbi was now state credentialed in music, elementary education, secondary education, and school counseling. She also became quite involved in the School Counselors Association of California. One year she held the role of president. Reader, what is a new skill you learned later in life? Bobbi was a counselor and therapist for the next 17 years. She loved this new door that had opened in her life. She said, "The minute I started taking classes in counseling, music went by the wayside." In 1978, she opened her own practice. When she first made this decision, some naysayers said to her, "Why? You don't even have clients." Yet Bobbi knew this was the right thing for her to do. She said about any concerns about the time needed to build up her clientele, "I know how to scrub floors." However, she did not need to be concerned. Word spread, and for the next 35 years, Bobbi was a family therapist and owner of the Center for Creative Educate Growth in Fullerton, California. Eventually, her business grew to include another office in San Clemente. Could work at my own hours, and I loved it, Bobbi said. Reader, when did you know that the naysayers in your life needed to be ignored? Bobbi described these years as some of her most exciting years. She said it was a good time to be in California. As a state, it was on the cutting edge of education, physics, and psychology. As well, topics like feminism and other relevant issues were explored. It was a magical time, Bobbi said. She immersed herself in learning, classes, meeting people, and being very involved in the community, she said. She appeared on various television and radio shows. She was a contributing writer to a number of publications, including monthly articles in Vitality magazine. She held workshops on many different topics, including weight and self esteem. She was on several boards related to mental health and counseling, and throughout her career held executive positions on those various boards. She was also recognized in the 18th edition of Who's Who of American Women. Reader, were you ever recognized for your work? If so, please tell us how. 8 years ago, for family reasons, Bobbi decided to move to Colorado. True to her nature, there is a cadence to Bobbi's teaching and impact in the communities where she lives. Colorado was no exception. She visited the Longmont Senior Center and then became one of its most popular teachers. Her rosters are full of participants who enjoy discussions about many different topics. Each month, Bobbi covers a different subject matter. She prepares with hours for research. She listens to her students, and often her topic points are inspired by the attendees' interest. Here are some of the issues considered in her classes: philosophy, metaphysics, psychology, laughter, the soul, ancient wisdom, and chakras. After years of navigating these interesting topics, Bobbi continues to research, prepare, and looks forward to the next class. There are typically 18 to 20 people in attendance. Readers will often contact me with suggestions of people for me to interview for the Drop In with Debbie blog. In Bobbi's case, I received the highest number of fans suggesting her as an interesting or inspiring person to cover in the blog. As I got to know her, I was pleased and acknowledged that readers had it right. Bobbi has a tender heart, but she is not a pushover. She's a strong, intelligent woman. As you talk with her, you understand why she values these two quotes: "We are all one," and "Hold everyone harmless." Her demeanor is one of understanding. She uses great listening skills, and she is interested in people. She also has a lot of respect for her Colorado audiences. "I love working with seniors," she said. She said of her current classes, "This is my first time exclusively with seniors. They know my language. We laugh at the same jokes. They are fun and smart. I like being with seniors." Throughout these years of the pandemic, Bobbi has been holding her classes on Zoom. The online platform did not diminish her participants' eagerness to continue meeting with her. She likes her classes to be fun and educational. This grandmother has a full life between her family and her classes. "My life has been wonderful," Bobbi said. "I have 3 great children. I also think of my nieces and nephews as my children. Between all of them, she has 11 grandchildren and 1 great grandchild." Years from now, I'm sure we will hear of students praising Bobbi Nesheim. It has been my honor to get to know her. Thank you, readers, for your great suggestion. I hope you enjoyed Bobbi's story as much as I did. Let me know your thoughts. I always look forward to hearing from you. And thank you once again for listening to the March 2022 Drop In with Debbie blog.